Hello viewers, welcome. Today we are going to discuss chapter 6, the Ramayana and Mahabharata. So let's get started. The Ramayana and Mahabharata may be held as the 2 feet on which ancient Indian culture stands. Their influence on mind and life of people of this country has been considerable. Ramayana is a story of Lord Ram, who is the eighth avatar of Lord Vishnu. Lord Ram's story was first penned by Maharshi Valmiki in about 4th century BC. Valmiki's story is known as Ramayana. The Ramayana relates the story of Ram, who was the son of Dashrath, the king of Ayodhya. This northern prince went to the far south to rescue his wife Sita, who had been abducted by Ravan. Originally, the book consisted of 5 cantos, but was later presented in 7 book form. It is one of the greatest epics of the world. It consists of more than 24,000 Sanskrit couplets. The Ramayana also depicts the social life, the beliefs, customs, and traditions of the times. The religion of these people must have been polytheistic because, besides the Vedic gods, with Indra as their chief, new deities like Kama, Kuber, Ganga, Kartikeya, Lakshmi, and Uma are also mentioned. Some deified animals also gets honorable mention. Prominent among these deities are Hanuman, Jamwant, Garud, Jatayu, and Nandi. By the beginning of the Christian era, the story of Ram had become a national treasure of India. It was being appreciated not only by the Vaishnavas but also by people belonging to the other sects. Moreover, the story was transported to nearby countries like Java, Sumatra, Thailand, and Cambodia. In Indonesia, Ram Katha is still popular. People appreciate the character of Ram because he is the symbol of perfection. Likewise, his consort Sita is worshipped as the ideal of Hindu womanhood. In the 16th century, Mahakavi Tulsidas wrote the story of Ram in his inimitable style. This story came to be known as the Ramcharitmanas. This epic story is told in Hindi couplets. The popularity of Tulsidas Ramayana has pushed the worship of Shakti to the background, at least in northern India, where Hindi is the dominant language. Even the illiterate tries to learn the story of Ram through its presentation in Ram Leela. During the Dashahara, the whole story of Ram is recited and enacted through Ram Leela. Among the epics of the Hindus, the Mahabharata occupies pride of place. According to Hindu view, Mahabharata is one of the 18th Puranas. Originally, the Mahabharata was known as Bharat Samhita and was composed by Maharshi Vedvyas and contained 24,000 verses. Later, it was increased to 6 lakhs verses, though only 1 lakhs verses exist today. The Mahabharata is an encyclopedia in Indian knowledge, which had been attained here before the composition of this great epic. In its introduction, it has it has been rightly pointed out that what is not contained in the Mahabharata cannot be found elsewhere. The Mahabharata, also called the fifth Veda, is looked upon as an authority on conduct and society. Purgator, closely examines the chronology of the Puranas and on the basis of his findings asserts that Mahabharata might have been fought sometimes in 1100 BC and the epic consequently must have been composed near about that century. The story continued to be larded with more facts, and by the 5th century AD, it acquired its present form. Originally, it was heroic poem, but gradually it acquired a religious orientation. In the end, it became a theistic treatise in which Vishnu is elevated to the rank of supreme being. The religion accepted by Mahabharata is Vedic, but it is gradually modified into modern Hinduism. The Vedic gods Indra, Vishnu, Agni, Surya, and Vayu and Varun continue to have importance, but they soon yield the palm to the new order of deities, represented by Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, who came to be regarded as the different aspects of the same supreme being. Later on, Krishna came to be identified with Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. The place of Prajapati is taken over by Narayana. The Mahabharata also contains the Upanishadic idea of monism. According to the Mahabharata, the different gods are simply the manifestation of the Supreme Brahma. However, the Brahma of the Upanishads becomes Ishwar in the Mahabharata. He acquires a different personality. He acquires different names like Shiva, Vishnu, and Krishna. Although the Mahabharata relates a story of wars and internecine war, yet ethics has an important place in this work. It says that in this world, pleasure and pain are intermixed, and both are ephemeral and short lasting. Hence, we should so discipline ourselves that we can accept both pleasure and pain with equanimity. One must follow dharma, which is the ethical code. It is relative and dependent on the conditions of life. It is dharma which only keeps the society stable. Without dharma, the society should become chaotic and anarchy would result. It is dharma that one should not do to others what is disagreeable to his own self. Caste and family do not lead to success. The means to success are self control, generosity, non violence, constant virtue, and asceticism. The highest virtue is truth. Kingdom, progeny, glory, wealth all combine to do not equal to 1/16 part of truth. The Bhagavad Gita is part of the epic Mahabharata. Since the theme of the Mahabharata is the struggle between rival factions of Bharat clan, the Bhagavad Gita begins with a description of the battlefield and the innumerable warriors lined up for fighting. The scene is laid in Kurukshetra, near Hastinapur, near modern Delhi. We find Arjun, one of the warrior prince, stationary in a kind of no man's land between the two warrior armies, his own and the enemy's. Krishna is his charioteer. Arjun expresses some qualm about killing people. Some of them is his own kinsmen. This leads Krishna to expound his philosophy, which is contained in this beautiful work, Bhagavad Gita. Krishna, according to the Bhagavad Gita, is the supreme God. This deification or Krishna came out by slow process of Krishna. Shishupal, a rival chieftain, countered this deification of Krishna. The Mahabharata portrays many roles of Krishna. By slow process, he becomes an incarnation of Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. According to the Bhagavad Gita, the world was produced by Krishna from his own Prakrit nature. Krishna says, all things exist in me, supported by my material existence. I cause this entire system of existing things to emanate again without any power of their own, by the power of their material essence. When a devotee recognizes the individual essence of everything to be comprehended in one and to be the only emanation of it, he then attains to the Supreme Spirit. Earth, water, fire, wind, ether, heart, intellect, and egoism. Into these eight components is my nature divided. This nature is an inferior one, but learn my superior nature other than this, of a vital kind, by means of which this universe is sustained. Understand that all things are produced from this latter or higher nature. The Bhagavad Gita affirms that though human body is mortal and perishable, the soul is immortal and eternal. The first is the emanation of Krishna inferior nature, while the latter comes from his superior nature. The soul is subject to the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth till it unites with Krishna essence and thus achieves nirvana. This is the only real existence of a spirit which is eternal. As Arjun feels qualm about killing his own kinsman, Krishna tells him that dying is not a reality because the soul cannot be killed. It will either be reincarnated or absorbed into Brahman. According to the Bhagavad Gita, Prakriti is composed of three qualities known as gunas: the sattva, goodness, the rajas, passion, and the tamas, ignorance. Since the soul is united and with Prakriti, it comes under the influence of these three gunas. These gunas unite the soul with Maya or illusion. Krishna is responsible for all our actions, good as well as evil, and hence the question of free will does not arise. Since nirvana is the release of the soul from Maya and from the influence of the above mentioned three gunas, the best way to affecting this release is by meditation. The Bhagavad Gita shows that man cannot live without action. He is obliged to perform actions that are imposed upon him by obligations of the caste. Krishna tells Arjun it is his caste obligation, being a Kshatriya, that he not only may kill but he must go to the battle. Salvation may come through devotion to Krishna. Thank you so much. Thank you.